There's a lot of things in this world that I'll pay, but student loans is not one of them. I be seeing like people stress out about paying student loans, and I'm not gonna have that stressor. Why? Because I'm just not gonna pay it. I just don't get the concept of me furthering my education and going to school so I can be in debt 100 grand. I just don't understand. So what y'all telling me is that we can fund wars for countries that ain't got nothing to do with us, but we making our Americans pay all this money in debt for school. Then what happened to Biden? Biden, you said you was finna. That's how you got us. You said you was gonna cancel 10,000 or 20,000, whatever the case may be. I ain't seen a cancellation yet. So I'm just trying to figure out who was the people that actually got canceled. Because I ain't seen nobody come on this internet here and say that their student loans have been canceled. The government is going to have to get them student loans by blood because I'm never going to just make a payment on them. Never. Y'all going to have to come take that out of my check in order to get it because it ain't happening. It just ain't.
Well, get ready, young lady, because they're coming. Hey, guys, welcome back to the channel. Those of you that have the mindset that you're not going to pay your student loans back, that's your business. I'm just here to sound the trumpet. They're going to take it out of your check. If you're retired, they're going to take it out of your pension. And a lot of you that bank on getting tax returns back, they're going to take that too. If you don't believe that this is going to happening, then you're just choosing to be ignorant. The deal is, if you've borrowed the money, you have to pay it back. You can't use the argument that these people over here aren't paying back the money. That has nothing to do with you. And if you continue along those lines, not only are you going to have heartburn coming up here in a couple of months, but it's negatively affecting your credit, and you're just further digging a hole for yourself. You guys weigh in what your thoughts are. Just do so respectfully. Hi, my name is Robert, and on this channel, we simplify the home loan process.
So let me get this right or wrong, whichever one. Y'all are mad that you will now officially have to be paying back your student loans. Yeah, the student loans that you racked up in debt by getting a useless degree that you can't even use or don't even have a job or career in it, but you still took out those student loans and racked up that debt, and you don't even want to pay it back. So y'all are mad that you're about to be held accountable to pay back your debt. Am I missing something? It's almost like none of you know how to take accountability for your own actions. This is a life and a path that you chose for yourself. You knew what it came with, having to pay that money. And because it was paused for a little while, and you decided, oh, since it's paused, I ain't gonna pay nothing. Now you're mad because they about to start garnishing your tax returns and your checks if you don't pay that shit. Why are you mad that you have to do something that is quite literally your responsibility? So I just want to know, what is the problem as to why y'all don't want to pay y'all student loan debt? Somebody explain to me.
She has that energy that a lot of you are going to be offended by. I can hear the comments now. Who does she think she is? I want to know as well. My thoughts are this: accountability. No one wants to be held accountable. And that's really where the rubber meets the road. That being said, all of these folks that are lamenting about not paying the student loan back, one, because I cannot find employment that's commensurate with the debt that I got in. Two, I was hoodwinked and bamboozled because I was a youngster and somebody force-fed these loans down my throat. Number three, we can't afford life the way it is, as if I'm not dealing with the same thing. Some people work hard, deal with what's going on, but then you have a lot of folks that are just always a victim on the struggle bus. And I really think it's a mindset, and no one wants to be held accountable. When you throw out the anomalies, the left and the rights, most folks use those loans to either live off of, to go kick it in college, and the intent was never to pay it back. All you gotta do is listen to what people are saying, and they'll tell you what the truth is. They never intended. So what say you? What give me a valid excuse, right, for the young folks. Where are the parents? Okay. Where are the parents? And then some of you young folks that no one could tell you anything and you know everything, where's your accountability with that as well? And then here's the deal. Some of you guys just continue to go to school. And there's a video a little later on that's going to answer that question, because I didn't understand, why do people just keep going to school? I do loans and take applications. We got folks 65, 70 years old that have student loans. People are so enamored with titles that you're getting taken advantage of. You're going to these doctorate programs and master programs, and there's no market for those things, but your ego is inflated, and then you don't want to pay it back. Some of you guys that are 40 plus that have children that are either going to school or in school, why are you guys letting them get in all this debt if it's so evil and you don't want to pay it back? I'm just saying. That's that accountability word again. It's not just the young folks. I don't want to call out ages or anything of this nature, but check out this next video. And she's well of age, but she has a mindset that's toxic, if you ask me. Let's check it out.
I'm not paying my student loans. The government keeps threatening all these things they're going to do to people if they don't pay their student loans. I don't think they realize we don't care. We don't have enough to care. We don't care about credit scores anymore. We don't care if you siphon our paychecks. We're just going to quit and move on to the next company, because that company was probably going to fire us anyway. People don't stay at jobs like they used to. People aren't locked in to a job they have to stay at for 35 years because they're getting a pension and great benefits. Those things don't happen anymore. So if you threaten to siphon people's paychecks, they're just going to quit and go to another company, because that company was probably going to go bankrupt anyway and fire everybody in the next couple months. This is going to be so much work for the government to siphon paychecks, and it's not going to get them enough money. They're going to end up losing money because they're going to have to hire thousands of people to try and get this money from people that don't have it. They're going to end up spending more money than they get in the long run. So these empty threats that they're giving us, they aren't scaring us. If the government's watching, it doesn't scare us. We don't have enough for that to scare us. So I won't pay the hospital then if you take my student loans out of my check. It's one or the other. We pay our health care and our medical bills, or we pay our student loan bills or our credit cards or our loans. Like, we can't pay it all. We're not making enough to pay it all. We're not sitting back and living in mansions, going on 20 vacations a year like the billionaires and saying, I don't want to pay my student loans. That's not it. We literally can barely afford life. We're just choosing which bills to pay. And the student loan one was taken off of the plate. I have less. Back when I was paying my student loans and the economy was a little better, I had more money back then, even with paying the student loans. I have less money now, and you want to take the student loans on top of it. I can't even be nervous about it because I can't afford it. I don't know what you're going to take from me, but whatever you take, that means I'm not going to pay something else because I don't have that kind of money. My job just doesn't pay that. It just doesn't. I'm not paying my student loans.
No accountability for the decisions that I have made that put me in the situation that I'm in. We all put ourselves in the situations that we're in. When you take out the anomalies, when you take out the people that really can't do for themselves, either physically or mentally, something has happened or some calamity causes those folks, again, the ends, you throw those out. I'm talking about the middle. 8 million student loans, 5 to 6 million in default. Come on, man. Come on. As you heard the young lady earlier, the only reason she voted was because she thought one of these politicians, the president, was going to waive the student loan debt. It's funny. They play these games with you all the time, just like they keep telling you guys to go to school, but no one is paying attention to the jobs that are paying money. We got folks in the middle. We have older folks. Here's a solution for those of you that might be watching this and you don't want your wages, your tax returns, or your pensions garnished. Don't borrow money unless you understand the terms. Consider the full matter. And when it comes to education for the purpose of employment, you have to understand what the market is doing. If you're going to go to college, you got to choose the right career field that possibly will be here 5 to 7 years down the line. Early college academy when you're in high school. Take advantage of the time. Then community college. Okay. Do you even need to go to college? What career fields out here are paying for the next 5, 10, 15 years where you get plugged right in and start making money? But when the money comes, that's not the issue. It's what you do with it. We got to start teaching how to live beneath our means. And it's all right to say, no, I can't afford it. Not right now. I don't need 3,000 square feet. 1,500 square feet is fine. It doesn't have to be brand new. I'm going to buy something and force appreciation. I'm speaking of homes. Cars, these car payments are through the roof. And then you get to the big age that you are and everybody's the problem. But I didn't hear one time what I did wrong. And see, whenever you hear these types of soliloquies and pontifications and you never find any guilt with yourself, well, then you're the problem. You're the problem. So they coming to get their money. And if you don't want to be in that situation, don't borrow money that you don't intend to pay back. Now, I mentioned this earlier, so we can move on. Why are these folks 50 plus still having all this student loan debt and are still going to school? Well, this next young man is going to explain why that's the case. And it falls right in line with what we're talking about with these student loans. Check it out.
Here's how I haven't paid my student loans and why I never will. You don't have to pay them back. All you have to do is re-enroll in community college and take any associate's degree. Dance, pottery, doesn't matter. As long as you're in school taking part-time classes, it will defer your loans for another year. Rinse and repeat.
So he said it quickly, just to summarize. They're going to school forever. They'll go to community college. They'll take the minimum to continue inflating the amount of monies that they owe with the interest that's accruing because they never intended to pay it back. What do you call somebody that borrows money and doesn't pay it back with the intent when they borrowed it that they weren't going to pay it back? I'd like to know down in the comment section, what do you guys call those folks? Because it's 2025. I'm sure somebody's going to be able to come up with something that's not in my mind. But you guys let me know. If you've been getting notifications, because you've been getting notifications, if your student loans are in default, 270 plus days, that's default. Now, if you're in some type of forbearance, if you're in some type of income repayment plan, not talking to you. We're talking to folks that are not been paying after a 5-year hiatus where you didn't have to pay any payments. If you were delinquent prior, they brought you current and no interest was accruing. See, nobody talks about that debt jubilee opportunity that you have. But I digress. If now, starting in April, you're 9 months late because you just ain't going to pay them back because the Ukraine got some money. I don't know what that's got to do with you, but I digress again. If that's you and you keep acting like you don't see these notifications and phone calls and folks looking for you, they're going to take your income tax check. Don't hop online and start lying and complaining about you were done wrong because they're letting you know. Go to studentaid.gov, whatever the federal website is, because these are federal backed loans. And that'll tell you as soon as the landing page opens up, it's in red. You're in default. Do something about it so that you can get back on track. That's what I wish for you. And if you're someone that has not gone down this line, consider the cost, man. Don't believe the hype. Go to work. Get up, get out, get something. Live beneath your means, and you'll be in a better position. You'll be happy that you did. If you're someone that says, Robert, I'm ready to get onto the housing ladder, the property ladder, and do so the right way. I'm a lender, NMLS license number 180100, and my contact information is in the description of this video. Schedule a free consultation call to see if there is a fit. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. You guys check out these videos here. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.